Hi guys, you're welcome to yet another tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be making a bubu dress with cowl sleeve and with a belt, with an inner belt. So we'll be using our Ankara fabric for this style. I have 6 yards of Ankara here, but I'll be making use of just 4 yards of the Ankara fabric. Then I have half yard of satin here, and let's get to the cutting. So to start with, I'm first going to forget my gown length. The gown length I'm making for this person is 58. 58 is a gown length. Then I'll add 2 inches to it for the hemming allowance at the hem part. That makes it 60. So I'm going to measure 60 in 2 places like this. I'll first measure 60 this way, and I'm going to measure 160, 120, so that I can cut out the remaining fabric. So I'm going to cut out 60. So here's my first 60. Then I'll cut out the next, I'll measure the next 60. And here is my second 60. So here now I can cut out this part, okay, so that can be easy for me to work with. I will just cut out that part. I have 120. Is on the folded part, so it's easy for me to just trace out. Okay, I keep this aside. I won't be needing this again. Then I move on to my fabric. I'll fold this way, folding on the left side, on the wrong side of the fabric. So I'll first fold like this. So I folded completely to the hem. Now I'm going to, this is the first folding into 2. Then I'll fold it again this way vertically. I first folded horizontally, now I'll fold now vertically like this into 4 to make the fabric be in 4. So I've done this. Okay. Always make sure that your fabric are aligned, because if they are not, it will affect the calculations. So now I'm done with the folding. You can see I have the folding at the top here. They won't be joining at the shoulder because it's a kimono, it's cut together sleeve. And now we can move on to inserting our measurement. So to start with, I'll first measure our neck depth, our neck width, which is 3 inches. Then our shoulder is, let me show that. Okay, our shoulder is 14. So half of 14 is 7 inches. Then I'm going to mark out 5 inches for my pleats. The pleats we're having. Then while I use the rest, this is, I have 10 inches. This is Ankara. So Ankara, if you fold it into 2, you only have 22 inches. So I have to use everything here. So I have the remaining 10.5 as the sleeve length. Now I can, from that sleeve length, I will use 1 inch for folding it So I'll come down by the sleeve length here. Around the sleeve length here, I'll measure around sleeve is 15, half of 15 is 7, so I will add it up to 10 inches because the sleeve is supposed to be wide. So here is 10 inches. So this is where the sleeve, I'm going to fold this is going to be the sleeve hem. Then I'll come down to a hip length. Our hip length is 25. So here is 25. At that 25, I will measure our hip. Our hip is 42, half of 42, 42 divided by quarter of 42. No, we folded this cloth into 4. So we are going to divide our measurement into 4. So that is 10.5. That's 10.5. And then 10.5, I will add another 5 inch for the freeness of the gown. So whatever I have here is what I will measure at the hem. So I have 15.5 here. So I'll move on to the hem and measure 15.5. So I have 15.5 here also. So since these are hip, I'll come down to our new measurement because that's where the cowl effect is going to stop. So our new length is 40. So from here I'll measure 40. Here is 40. So at this 40 also, I'm going to measure what I have here, 15.5. 15.5. So I'll draw a straight line from the hem to that new length. So then from here now, I can make a curve to the sleeve. I hope it's visible. Let me see. Okay. So from the new length, I'll make a curve to the sleeve. Let me take in the shot so that it will be very visible. So here we have, I've made it to the tip, to the part. So now I'll come to the neckline. The neck depth is going to be 1 inch. So I'll mark out 1 inch here, then I'll make a curve. This for the back. Now for the front, the neck depth is going to be 7 inches. So from this 7 inches here, I'm going to mark out 2.5. I want the band to be 2.5, so I'll mark out 2.5 here. 2.5. Then from that 2.5, I'll connect it to the neckline here. So you see, so our connect supposed to be V here. Now from there I'll mark 2.5 downward. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So I'll connect the dotted lines together to form a straight line so that it will be easy for me to so all this 2.5 now. Now we can now cut. Now what should we, I'm going to cut my first cut out the side. Let's first cut out the sides from the hem like this. So I'll cut out the side first. So when you cut out the side, this is how your fabric, this is how it's going, your pattern is going to look like. This part is a tip type and this is a cowl effect. Now we'll come to the neckline. We cut out the neckline. I'll first cut out the back neckline this way. Then I'll lift this part. That's why I folded this way, so that it will be allow me to easily work with the front. So this is going to be my front pattern. So I'll see that I left this part. So I'll now cut out the short line. This is going to be my belt for the inner part. So at this point also, I'll mark out where my inner belt is going to stay. Our half length is 17, while her underbust is 14. So I want the belt to be between the 17 and 14. So I'll be marking 15.5. So at this 15.5, that's where I'm going to mark. That's where I'm going to put the inner belt. So I will just mark the same thing. What I have here, I'll mark it on this other side too. Okay. So now we are done cutting the fabric. I'll come back to this. Let's cut the collar. For the collar that will be at the front, you know, we cut out 2.5 inches for from the front of the dress. So we are going to add half inch to join it back. 2.5 plus half inch. That half inch is we use it to sew the collar to the dress back. So 2.5 plus half, that gives us 3 inches. So that 3 inches now, I'm going to fold it into 2 because I needed it folded into 2. So 3 inches, that is 6, right? So 6. So 3 inches on fold, that gives us 6. So I'll cut out this. But instead of me cutting out twice, because this length is just simple, it's just 60 inches, it will be enough. I have to join it. So I'll just cut out 6 inches at once. I'll just fold out 6 inches at once. So here is 6 inch. I have to confirm or check. Let's make that 6. I'll reduce it. The fabric is not straight, so I won't be able to cut out. So I can start from here. I have to shock it now to cut out 6 inches. And 6. I will still go ahead and divide this into 2. This is 2 strands, then I'll still cut out one more. I can just easily place this on this and cut out. So now we have our fabric cut out 6 inches by the length. I have 3 stripes here, and I'm going to join the 3 stripes. I'll first join 2 together at the center here, then I'll measure round before I join that. To know what I'm going to join to this, I'll measure around the neckline for the front here. You know, fine, this is folded into 2 now, so I'll measure it. What do I have here? Don't forget that this is into 2, but instead of me opening it to be measuring, I'll just measure like this to still give me the same result. So I'll measure this way. can see I have 60 stop here. Mark it. Then I take my tip again and measure around this part. So from this here, this place around here, that's 5, that's 65. So the total length is 65. You know, it's folded into 2, so when you open it up, that will be 130. Am I correct? Yes, that will be 130. So I need the length of my stripe to be 130. You know that this stripe now, this stripe we have 60 per length because of the is a trouser length. So this is a 60 length. I have 2 of it. That gives me 120. So I'll be needing to cut out 10 from this. Instead of me now cutting out 10, I will add 5 inches to it, so that will be another 10 inches to it. That will make it 20. It's better we have excess than for it not to be enough at all. So I'm going to mark out 20 here. So I'll cut out this 20. And because I don't want the joining to be showing, the joining of those stripe to be showing everywhere, I want this one that I'm going to join at the center is going to be at the center back. So that one is still okay because it's at the back and it's at the center. So instead of me not having another stripe going another way, I will join half here and I will join half on the other parts too. Since they are going to be at the hem part, it will not be that obvious. So I'm going to divide this into 10. So I will have half joining here, then I'll have half joining the other part also, like this. Then after joining it, I'll make sure that I steam iron it. I open it up, I will attach a-stay to it and iron it neatly. So before that, let's go back to our main dress. Now on the main dress, remember that we have our dart line. This is going to be our dart line from here to here. That's where our dart is going to stay. So this is 5 inches. Then I'll measure half of that 5 inches, which is 2.5. So this 5 inches, half of it is 2.5. Then I want my dart to stop at length 25 here. So it's going to stop on the hip length, then 25. So at this center here, I'm going to have a dart line here, but because the dart is going to be, the pleat is going to be at the front, so I have to turn my fabric to the right side. All this mark I have here, I have to transfer it to the right side. Okay, let me just notch this edge here, so to direct me to know where my, let me put the thread so that I will know that this is my folding. Then let's measure from here what we have left from here. We are having 4, so 4, 5. That's what we are going to measure when we come to one. So I'm going to turn my fabric to the right side like this. I've opened up the fabric and I've turned it to the right side this way. So this is the grips that I created. So and this is the notch. So from this point, I'll first measure 4 inches, then 5 inch. Then from the 5 inch, I'll go to the center, which is 2.5. At the center, I'm going to measure 25 downward. I'm going to measure 25 downward. So I want my pleat to stop at this 25. So I'll just mark out 2 inch here and 2.5 inch, 2.5 inch, 2.5 inch. So I'll go to the back also and do the same thing. From this center here, I'll mark 25 downward. Make sure it's on a straight line. So here is 25. That's 25. So at this point, I'll mark 5 inch outward, 2.5 inch inside and outside. So now I'll pick up my fabric, my pleat. I'm going to pick up my pleat and pin them down like this. You can confirm your pleat height to be sure that it's still 2.5 so that you don't have more than you calculated for. It doesn't go. Look at it. You can see that this is still 2.5 here. So I'll also hold it this way at the front. This is the back part. So this is my pleat. So the two shop that I marked there, that's what I'm using to trace to my pleat. So I know that this is where I'm going to stop sewing the pleat. Then I'll come to the center also to serve as a guideline. And I'll confirm if I also have my 2.5. Okay, I'm still in line. So here is our pleat. Now you can see. Then I'll go ahead to the sewing machine. I'll do the same thing for the second side too. I'll do that off the camera so that it doesn't waste time. After pleating it, I will now go to the sewing machine. I will start from that end point. I will sew straight line down to the end point at the back. Also, I will stop here. After sewing it, I will give it a good press. Then come back to show us the next step. Alright, I'm back. I've done, I've sewn this. This is the wrong side. So when you see the wrong side, see the sewing. So let me turn it to the right side. Now this is the right side. You can see the pleats here, and we'll click on both sides. So there is a pleat here that is lying flat like this, and here's another pleat also. So I've done this. Now for the stripe, here we have, I've also attached a stay to it. I've ironed a stay to it, then I've folded it into two. So what I'm going to do next for this dress, remember this part that I cut out from this as the center, I'm going to use it as the belt for the front. So I'm going to cut out two belts. You can decide to make your belt as long as you wish, but it must not be too long so that it will not be bulky at the back, it will not be showing. So I'm going to use this as my belt. This is just 2.5 by into it was folded into 2.5 by this 2.5 by 29. So I have two of these. I'll go and sew like this. Excuse me. So I'll sew from here this way down, then I'll turn it over, give it a good press, then come back to show us how to attach it to the fabric. Now the fabric, this also, I'm going to fold this arm. I'm going to fold it 2 inches, the first folding and the second folding like this. I will sew straight. I'll do the same thing for the left side too. Now before going, let me quickly explain what we are going to do with this stripe. So for this stripe now, I'm going to open it up. This is the center. Remember that there is a joining at the center, so I have the center. There's no need for me notching the center. I'll open it up like this. After opening it up, I'll open it up like this. So I'll open it up all through. So after opening it up from here, I'm going to measure my neckline, which is going to be 11 inches. So this is where 11 inches is. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it there. Then where my slit is going to start from, I want it to start from a new. And a new note is 40. So I'll just measure down to 40. This is 40. So I'll also use my pin to hold it down like this. Then I will now go ahead and sew. I will sew from here to this 40, from the neckline to this 40. I will sew. While sewing, I'll make sure that the 2 foldings are on each shoulder. Then after folding, I will open it up, give it a good press, and come back to show us the next step. Okay guys, I'm done attaching sewing the belt. I've turned it and I've ironed it out. So these are the 2 belts. Then the collar, I've also joined it together. Like I said, no, it was open like this before. I'll just quickly show you. So I sew from the neckline to where the slit will get to here. Then after sewing, I open it up, but I close it up back then. I gave it a good press. So we are having this now. So the next step, also the sleeve end of this dress too, I already sew it. Look at, I've sewn the sleeve end too. Now I'm going to take my belt. Remember earlier while I was cutting, I picked a shock part here, and that's where my belt will be. So I'll go to that part now. Here it is. You can see it here and here. So I want the belt to be behind the pleat, so I will just bring my belt here. Then I'll bring the belt here and I will sew it down. I will sew it this way, so to be tied this way. Then I will do the same thing for the left side too. Bring the belt here like this. So be careful that I don't sew on the pleat too. Then turn it this way. So our belt, we are done with the belt part. I'll come back and show us the final look of the belt. Now we go on to the collar. I will turn my fabric back to the front. Then I will try and get the center of my gown length. So I'll use the notch parts that I notched earlier, but you can just decide to fold from the hem. So from this end, get the center. So here is my center. So I'm going to notch the center now. I'm going to notch the center. Now, there's no need for notching the center of this my collar because there is a joining at the center already. So I'm going to pick my collar like this. So from the center like this, the joining part will be at the center. This is notch center. This is the joint part. So I will pin it down. I'll pin it this way. Then round this pin side to the other side. I will sew round like this. Then after sewing round, I'll come back, iron it, I'll give it a good press, then I'll weave round also, then come back to show us the next step. Alright guys, I've attached the belts at the waist side where I mark out, so she's going to tie it to the back, and I've sewn the collar around from the bottom, from the beginning to the end. So I cut out the excess, there were excess, so I cut it out, sorry, and then I weave it round also, so you can see. So this is the neckline and the neckline. So I'm going to fold it back into half again and fold it back. So good. Now as I folded it back, now I'm going to sew from here. I'm going to sew from here ½ inch. Let me give a shape to tracer. So from here I'm going to sew. I'll come in like this, then I'll sew ½ inch round. I'm going to sew along the side this way, then down to the hem. Excuse me. So I'm going to sew down to the hem. Then after I'm done sewing this side, I'll sew the other side too like that. Then I'll fold my fabric in. The 2 inches I added for the hem allowance, this is 1 inch, and now this make it 2 inch. Then I'll fold it and sew round. While sewing, I'll make sure that these parts and these parts are on the same level, they are equal when I'm getting to that side. So when I do that, we are done. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you are here to subscribe, and also share the video to those that will need it. If you have any question in the comments section, I will answer all your questions. Alright guys, I'm done sewing the sides and I've interlocked it. Look at, I've sewn and interlock down do the same for the side also. Sew and interlock, then I hem the lower part. Now I'm going to turn it to the right side for us to see. Okay. So here we are done with our dress, and I'll go ahead and give it a good press and display it on the mannequin for all to see the final and finished look. You can see it's looking beautiful already, so I'm going to give it a good press. So do not forget to like, subscribe and share our video. Okay guys, we have finally come to the end of the tutorial. You can see the dress sitting pretty on the mannequin. Look at the neckline. If you want your neckline to be lower than this, you can just use 12 or 13 instead of using that 11 inches that I use. Then you can also see the plate. If you know that you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe so that you can get notified when we post a new video. Also remember to like, to give us a like if you love this video, and you can also share this if you are interested. Bye. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.